So if there's anything that any of us, I think, realise as we build and scale an AI-led future for any of our businesses, it's the knowledge and reality that platforms and foundations really matter. And we've spent a lot of time in NatWest thinking about the set of shared capabilities that are AI-powered, modern, cloud-native capabilities that will underpin our AI-powered future. And this is what we call our digital spine. Our ambition as a bank is enormous, to be the most customer-centric digital bank that is delighting our customers every single day by reinventing banking experiences wherever they are and at every point of need. And we're doing that across three big strategic pillars. The first is delivering growth, of course. So we're very fortunate that each of our businesses, from our core retail bank to our commercial institutional bank, which you'll hear from Jen a bit later, to our wealth bank, our mortgage business, all of those businesses are growing. And they're growing because we're investing in our customers. We're investing in that hyper-personalization that can only be delivered through AI. Secondly, we're simplifying our bank, but we're not simplifying it for its own sake. And I think many a transformation has been and gone and failed simply because simplification and rationalization exists to reduce the numbers. For us, simplification is about outcomes. It's about value delivered to our customers, and it's in service of those great AI-powered journeys that we're delivering. And then finally, of course, we're a bank, so we have to focus on better managing our capital assets, and we do that through a really significantly scaled data transformation journey that we're on. And all of those things are building our digital spine. And let me pick out some highlights of that spine. Firstly, integration. You'll know that within the financial services sector, we're an ecosystem where we need interoperability. We're connecting with payments, with third parties, with counterparties. So integration really matters, and our AI-powered bank is built on secure connectivity for what are really truly AI-orchestrated services. Secondly, our data marketplace, and some of you may have heard of that in other sessions this last few days, but where data fuels the insights and models of our AI ecosystem, and really building and scaling a data fabric anchored around a mesh architecture that enables that AI-powered bank. Simplification really to us is about building an AI-driven intelligent core banking platform that delivers adaptive and personalized products, all enabled by AI. And then finally, resource management, of course, is about a scaled AI ecosystem that enables every single employee in the bank to achieve more. And we're really proud of our digital spine. We're really proud of the way that we're infusing AI into every single component of that architecture that is really building the foundations of an AI-powered digital future. So how are we doing this then? So we have delivered and developed an AI reference architecture, and we see that architecture across 4 tiers. It would be remiss of me not to call out the reality that this isn't a technology problem, of course. We're incredibly fortunate to be in our industry right now at a time of enormous disruption where technology is no longer the inhibitor. And the joy and excitement of being here at reInvent, I think, has really brought that into focus, hasn't it? That what's limiting us as businesses, as individuals, is our imagination. We're no longer constrained by the technology. But to achieve those outcomes, we need an operating model that scales, and an operating model that is fit for an AI-powered future, where controls are there and where we've established an AI-ready culture. And that's also where partners come in. I think as in scale transformation of this extent, partners really matter, and we're delighted to be partnering with Infosys, a really important partner for this journey with us, who show up every single day with awesome people, fantastic ideas, and No baggage, no strings attached, just aligned to our outcomes. So partnerships really matter, and selecting those purposefully is part of the journey. Our core tech and data fabric, I've talked a lot about that, but really focusing on integration, on security and scale in an agentic world where access to trusted, secure, reliable data is the cornerstone of success. And then where the magic really happens is the third layer, which is our AI-powered decision-making, where we're building the products, where we're scaling agentic solutions and enabling the magic to happen for our customers. And then finally, digital engagement, which is all about AI-ready interfaces and really focusing on that integration and intelligent products and services. And that, for me, is the exciting bit, where we can build and deliver AI-infused products for our customers that really make a difference to them every day. And then I'll finish by talking a little bit about how we see the use case portfolio across our banking ecosystem and how we're really thinking about scaled AI across our entire ecosystem for our customers. And that's across 4 areas. And we see our set of use cases as a value chain, really, starting at the very bottom with scaled AI, end user, low code, use cases that are for everybody, personal productivity. And that, for us, is the foundation of everything that we're doing, really building and scaling the capability of every single employee to achieve more for our customers. Secondly, commodity-driven use cases. So those small little AI use cases built by our amazing engineers using AI-generated software engineering practices. But those point use cases, that too is the bedrock of our AI journey. And then moving up the value chain is complex firsts. So those set of agentic services that require orchestration, automation, autonomy, require intervention, that we're really investing in heavily with our engineering teams. And then finally, leading edge research. So we see that in order to really win with customers, then the way to do that is to invest heavily in the capabilities that don't yet exist. And we're very fortunate to have a really powerful and strong AI research team who are looking into things such as deep fake protection, avatars, biometrics, etc. I'll just finish, though, by saying it goes without saying, I suppose, that in a world where every institution, every organization, yours and mine, will have access to powerful AI, where AI is no longer, where technology is no longer the inhibitor. Competitive advantage doesn't come just from the technology. It comes from partnerships, it comes from culture, it comes from enablement of people, it comes from hiring the best talent. And our journey towards a world-class AI-driven future for our customers starts with our people. And with that, I'll hand over straight to the next speaker.
I'll get the clicker. Thank you, Diana, and thank you, Manish, for that introduction. Hello, everyone. I hope I'm audible. My name is Maithili Madhira. I'm an SVP of Technology. I work for a broker-dealer called LPL Financial. I'm New York-based, and I'm really glad that we got this chance to sort of connect on this core topic after those exciting sessions and the keynotes that we've had in the last 2 days. This is AWS reInvent, and I'm really honored that we could be part of the forum. And thank you to our Infosys partners for inviting me to speak here today. This is where our innovation meets execution. And I'm excited what our teams can do. The first thing I wanted to touch upon here is when Infosys asked me on this topic, throughout my career, I've worked in financial services for at least the last 2 decades, and we've done all sorts of transformation. And probably all of you can relate to that work activities, right? We've taken our monolith systems, we've migrated, to microservices, we've basically, moved workloads to the cloud, all of that, and brought some efficiencies to our businesses, but all of that was taken with a digital first hat. Now we get to do all of this value chain, keeping AI as the core engine. And guess what? If you don't incorporate AI, people will call that an upgrade. It's no longer a transformation. So that's really the key, point here. We are at a place of paradigm shift, and we are super excited that we bring that to a certain industry, despite we have a lot of regulations, and put that with the right guardrails and governance. So with that context, let me take you to the firm. So I work for a firm, LPL Financial. We're the largest broker-dealer in the US. We're a Fortune 500 firm and one of the top RIA custodians. And we have definitely a very large user base, which is financial advisors. We serve about 32,000 of them in the US market. Our firm, AUM is around 2.3 trillion, and we support 8 million US households today. So that's the space that we are in. Our leadership mission and vision is to be the best wealth management firm. So this is coming top down, right? That is the leadership aspiration. And in order to get there, the key thing I want to point out is, unlike, I worked in other financial institutions and banks where your customer becomes your primary persona that you support. LPL is slightly different, and why I say that is, LPL is an advisor-centric firm. We focus on the financial advisor. That's where our value proposition is. We want advisors to be equipped with the best-in-class tools so they can support the financial goals of our end customers. That's where we fit in the broader context. We support various institutions and we offer capabilities to strengthen that element. Particularly why that is key is we are talking about AI and digitizing capabilities. But the thing to recognize here is this is a particular industry where the human element becomes even more important where we are looking at digitization. And why I'm stressing that particular point is within LPL, think about it, when do you need financial advice the most? You need that in moments where you're making life-changing decisions. You need you want the assurance and you want the confidence to take that next leap. You want to be able to use these advice and get that confidence from a trusted advisor. And that's the value proposition an LPL advisor brings. And what we want to strengthen with our AI platform and tools is make sure that advisors get the gift of time so they can focus on that relationship, help their customers in moments that matter, moments where there's market volatility, moments where your clients have high liquidity needs, and not really focus on administrative overload, which tends to be some of the challenges we're solving in this journey, particularly for our wealth advisors. I also want to take you through our next slide, this is basically, you don't have to read the entire thing, but the context here is these are the various news articles that have come up in the last couple of years about LPL. And what I want to call out is, in the last 3 to 5 years, LPL as a firm has doubled its AUM. There are not many firms that grow in that level of scale, and that's the criticality here. Not only there is scale, our stock price has grown 351%. Our advisor base has doubled in the short 2+ years that I've been there. So for you to recognize that we are supporting a platform with an active user base. Our investor portal, which is one of the areas that I manage, has about 2 million active users with a projection of doubling that in the next couple of years. So there is tremendous growth. So the strategic levers that this firm has focused on are not just the organic traditional growth model. We're talking about inorganic M&A and aggressive M&A. So which explains why AI capabilities are core and crucial in this type of transformation. So that's, I just want to pause here and ask the audience question before we sort of talk about the next piece. Is there anybody here who thinks that their industry will not have to redefine the transformation journey? Show me a hand. Okay, I made my point. You know why. All right, and I'm excited that we get to build that together, right, as a group here. So the four personas. So our approach in sort of solving this, AI first and AI-led journey is looking at the personas we support. And I genuinely felt our brand campaign was stolen, by the way, the AWS keynote speaker, because what if we could is LPL's brand campaign, just so everybody knows. So think about the persona first here, which is John, who's the financial advisor. And what if we could make their life about serving their clients, having, showing that empathy and trust and the relationship angle, which is what they excel about. We don't need to, give them the administrative aspects of, you have to manage your transactions and support them through the day. They should be focused on relationship advice, give proactive, personalized information, and faster response. So we want to give them speed and personalization. So that is the gift we want to solve with AI. Think of our end investor. So, and that is a persona probably all of us wear, right? If you all have bank accounts, you know the end investor persona. And what do an end investor expects from them? They want trust. They want transparency from their, financial institution. They want seamless digital experiences. And most importantly, including myself, they want outsized returns. And that's the piece we want to demonstrate. And think of the third persona, my most favorite, because I wear the payments, hat in our organization. And I can tell you, if you've ever worked in operations, you will understand this. So operations role, especially in the wealth management and financial services industry, has not digitized. And we haven't necessarily, I think, leveraged AI to the level that you could in terms of strengthening the, automation and the operation, like taking out the manual workload and the friction. So there's a great opportunity for us to solve there. And the last, as a technology leader, core and, the most personal piece in this is we want to give time back for our developers to focus on innovation and not really routine tasks. My two favorite tasks I really hope we can digitize very soon are getting rid of that pen test, the manual pen test, and release management. Make sure that nobody has to use Jira and focus on innovation. So that's the gift we are aspiring to give. So, I'll just take you through. So any of these transformations, as you can see, right, you have to start small, demonstrate those quick wins, and then you march into a longer sort of, iterative journey and strengthen that. So I want to take you through 4 such use cases that are right now in the works and have become sort of crucial for us to illustrate on the KPIs and see how we can measure the impact of AI and digitization at LPL. So the first one is our banking wizard. I'm sorry because I can't really zoom into the content, but I can talk through this. So this is a tool where we have an Amazon, Bedrock LLM behind the scene that connects to our knowledge base like Jira, Confluence. And in essence, this was built by our banking team because we just launched our flagship cash management account. So LPL supports a lot of investment products, insurance products, but most recently we've launched our banking solutions. And this was launched within a year, right? And I'm really incredibly proud of that win because, bringing a product to life, especially in that short window and making sure it is launched successfully, the only we could do is with the tools like AI that can improve our productivity and get us to the outcomes we need. And what's important with this particular product is we've been able to showcase that, hey, there is a information layer that we can provide to our service partners so that every time they need to understand who is eligible for this account, where do things stand, there is a tool for them. They don't need to really reach out to their product or support or multiple layers of the organization. And that's the OKR and efficiency it was able to accomplish. The second one, which is Account View, and this is an effort that's massively in progress. So Account View happens to be LPL's customer-facing investor portal. And what we are trying to do there in that particular space is we have close to 160 plus endpoints. We're supporting a portal and a very vast user base. And that is the one we want to take through a digital transformation journey. A lot of our code, templates and common libraries are being transformed. And for most of you who've migrated workloads to cloud, you probably would have seen, you know about the 7 Rs, right? And we have probably most of those in that platform. It's not just a lift and shift, so there's a massive re-architecture as well. And AI has been incredibly useful for us in that journey. The next one is there are net new capabilities that we are launching, lending being one of those. Operations, which I spoke about, is one of the persona that massively has manual surveillances and manual review, document review, and that is an area that is of key focus, which we are strengthening using agents. And the last one is developer efficiencies. So we have a lot of opportunities, and some of the developers are in this room, which I'm excited to see, especially folks who are using Cursor, Copilot, and a lot of the Bedrock solution. So these are the teams that are able to leverage the power of these things, and especially use them for test automation, generation of code, and which we are incredibly excited to see and what that could bring. I'll take you through a couple of futuristic use cases that are right now in the incubation. And the reason why they are interesting is the potential it can solve for our firm. For example, like we're looking into a payment exception handler. Given the operations overhead that we have, something that can resolve the exceptions. Let's call that payment superhero. The next one is we're talking about our Copilot for our back office team. So, and this is something that's really critical, especially there's a lot of information and acronyms that they need to look up, and we could use that. And then the very last one, which is an area I think I've heard from the other panelists as well, is the opportunity here to solve financial crimes, the fraud monitoring, and making sure we can do our anti-money laundering using AI. So those are the things that are in the works. Like all transformation goals, I want to make sure that we talk about a critical topic, especially in an industry where we are highly regulated, which is our governance and controls. And we are trying to execute this strategy with the right governance model, ethics, guardrails, and compliance tools so that we can make sure we deliver it right. Because trust in this industry is non-negotiable. So that's really where we are. And then to sum it up, right? So I want to make sure that we bring this whole story together. So we just talked about that LPL is committed to deliver differentiated services to our customers. We want to bring that through personalization. We want to digitize the entire experience. We've talked about the tremendous growth story there and how we have, the AUM and the affiliation models that we need to support. So that is where we are using the power of AI and the tools to support that. Operation simplification is a critical area, and there's a lot of opportunity there that we could strengthen. And finally, bringing technology to the forefront, right, and how you achieve that in a scalable, sustainable way. I want to put this thought to everybody. When we talk about transformation, right, AI is, probably the lever we are using. Think of it, you're launching your rocket ship. You have your greatest tech stack. You're finding the right business problem to solve. AI is your fuel. If you don't introduce that, your rocket's not taking anywhere. So just make sure, you keep that in mind. I would love to hear from this group on where things stand. Is your rocket in your space station, or is it basically, launched and in outer space? So I look forward to hearing from this folks in this room, and thank you.
That was pretty impressive stats about LPL and all that. I work for Truist. We're on a similar journey with digital and AI transformation. We're coming out of a pretty significant merger of two regional institutions. So it's even more important, even more pivotal for us to adopt AI, digital transformation. But we're focused on serving multiple clients. We run multiple businesses: mortgage, digital banking, commercial lending, payments, wholesale banking, wealth management. We're about a $570 billion institution, Truist is. But so thank you very much for the opportunity today. Excited to be here. Thank you, Infosys, for hosting us. What I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about I'm not going to talk about the use cases. I'm going to talk about our blueprint for AI strategy from a technology standpoint. Anybody who has run platforms and capabilities probably can relate to this. We're always one tool away from greatness, right? Just get that one tool, we'll be in business. By the way, this is proprietary, and it is, you're going to have to pay me a cent to use it every time. So while I'm exaggerating a little bit, I'm not really exaggerating, right? We were in one of the greatest conferences in the world for a couple of days. How many new capabilities have come out? We have seen so many capabilities come out, and everything is moving at lightning pace. I mean, literally at lightning pace, I think. So we have to focus on integrations. That's the name of our game. We are trying to. We're just talking to the NatWest partners here. Do you take the data to the AI, or do you take AI to the data? That's I don't know, literally a billion dollar question. But we are trying to, our strategy has been to move in the direction of faster integrations. This is sort of like how we are anchoring our overall approach to run we want to be able to accelerate our use case backlog. And for us to be able to do that, we are looking at a multi-pronged approach that allows, for us to choose the right tool for the right job at the right, sort of like pace as well. So we are heavily focused on integrations. We want to scale AI. We want to bring everything cohesively together. So we're focusing on an enterprise blueprint that can bring all these things together. So the way we see it, right, the way we see sort of like generative AI, agentic AI, all of these things, I can probably put it in three categories. One is our own personal knowledge domains. We have the places we work at have tremendous knowledge domains. It could be ticketing data, it could be Jira, it could be anything. There's tremendous amount of knowledge domains to be built out, and we want to implement use cases on top of those things. So we're treating those as one particular domain. And then there are so many other products that enable AI. You have to be able to adapt to those products as well. There are platforms. Platforms come with AI. Every single entity, every single sort of like application, every single product, everything has AI enablement. You have to be able to take advantage of all of these things, and you have to be able to do it intelligently, again, through integrations. So this is a little bit of an eye chart, but kind of, what I've tried to do here is to highlight. On the left, on my left, I guess. You're going to see like the enterprise blueprint for generative AI solutions, and on the right, to my right, you're going to see a blueprint for traditional AI. What we want to try and do here is we want to have an enterprise knowledge domain that powers both of these things. We want to be able to invest heavily and provide super critical, really good experiences for the knowledge domain experts, for them to be able to bring in the knowledge, manage it, curate it, make it available for not only for models, but also for generative AI solutions. So we're focusing heavily on the experience for the knowledge experts as well. So that's the sort of like the bedrock, for lack of a better term. That's what is driving everything for us under there. And then from there, we have three. I'm not going to read through all of these things. You can look at it. We have a platform layer that is focused on, sort of leveraging the enterprise platforms that are available. We use, we're sort of like trying to be as agnostic as possible, but we use things like Bedrock and SageMaker pretty heavily for our model development, as well as for our generative AI solution development. We have a component layer in between that helps with orchestration, that helps with sort of like trying to pull everything together component-wise. And then we have a framework where we can bring different types of experiences. For example, if you want a RAG use case, you can sort of like bring the RAG use cases in there. You can bring agentic platforms and get them integrated there. If you want to move towards MCPs, you can get those integrated as well. So this is the direction in which we are trying to move. And as well as, when you go to the traditional model development side, we want to have an experience for the people that train the models as well. It's not just a question of serving up the models for applications to use. We have to have a platform for the model training as well. So we're trying to put all of these things under a common UI. We want a good, distinctive, reliable use and feel for all of these things. So we're trying to prioritize that experience as well for the people that are developing the models, for the people that are developing knowledge bases. So this is the enterprise blueprint that we're looking at. I'm gonna kind of summarize all of these things. This is, again, there's a lot of words in here, but we are trying to use native AI, we're trying to use vendor-enabled AI, we're trying to use platform-enabled AI, and we want to bring everything together. We want to scale, we want to have the right tool for the right platform, for the right use case. So whether it is a question of leveraging Cortex from Snowflake, the ability to do that, or whether it's a question of leveraging automation platforms that have embedded UI, or embedded embedded AI, we're trying to bring all of those things together, and we want to scale. Like, I want to close this, and I want to talk about we are prioritizing integrations to drive our 150 plus use cases backlog, and the only way to do that is to be able to scale. We're prioritizing scaling, cohesiveness, and using the right tool for the right job for us. Right. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. So hi there, thank you for having me. So my name is Jennifer Scott, and I look after the digital banking platform for the commercial and institutional franchise within NatWest. So NatWest, as Diana said, is a leading UK bank that focuses on retail, business, and wealth customer base. The commercial and institutional franchise specifically focuses on our business customers. So we serve business customers all the way from small SMEs up to large institutional clients. My role there, really, as head of engineering of the digital platform, is to look at our customer and our colleague digital journeys. And in particular, we're focused on a transformation of a platform called Bankline today. So I'll talk to you a little bit about that. So what is Bankline? Bankline is a digital platform that allows customers to access accounts and payments capabilities across 3 channels, so mobile, web, and API. Typically, our smaller SME businesses will interact with the mobile platform. Then our mid-market corporate treasury functions will access the web platform. They'll also use the mobile platform for mobile payments, checking balances on the go, etc. And then our more larger institutional customers will connect to us via our API platforms. The customers that we service typically have a turnover in the range of 750K to 500 million. The platform is critical in serving that customer base. At the end of 2024, we had approximately 370,000 users, and we were processing transactions in around circa 27.6 million per month. So it's a fairly critical platform. It was launched in 1995. So, over the last 3 decades, it has been a cornerstone of our success. But obviously, during that time, both customer and technology has really evolved dramatically. So today, customers expect to interact with us over digital ecosystems. They want a digital experience that is both connected, intuitive, easy to use. That's effectively what we want to deliver with this transformation. So our ambition to achieve that digital experience that our customers want, and also to ensure that we have a platform for the future, we created 3 strategic objectives to steer the transformation work. So the first one, digital customer journeys, looks to deliver a unified customer experience across all of the journeys that our customers use, covering both mobile, web, and API. The single point of access piece is basically looking to provide frictionless access to our products and services. So through Bankline, accessing more products and services from behind a single logon. And the third one, increased pace of delivery. So how can we, through the technology transformation, through a migration to cloud, look to deliver more capability more often to our customers? So a really key point for us was thinking about the transformation not just in the context of the technology that we want to move to, but how do we continue to deliver value for our customers? And that's obviously critical in terms of the customer experience, keeping our business stakeholders, engaged and supportive across the transformation duration. So fairly critical. So in terms of doing that, we created some sort of simple, powerful indicators to track both our progress and also the value that we're delivering to customers. The first one of those was a percentage of the customer journeys that have been modernized, that have received, the digital experience has been updated for our customers. The second of which was the number of customer journeys that we've actually migrated to cloud. And the third, the number of products that we've integrated through Bankline and sit behind that single logon. We sort of focused as well on trying to think about what are the table stake capabilities that our customers would expect from a commercial banking platform. And that sort of drove us to prioritize solving for customer pain points and actually looking to reduce reliance on our customer support desks as well. So over the course of the last 2 years, I think the results really speak for themselves. So you'll see on the slide here the four main points around progress to date. So digital service requests have increased by 60% over the course of the last 2 years. So our customers are having sort of faster, more efficient interactions with us. We've delivered a single platform for mobile that covers all of our brands, that allows us to do updates more quickly and have a consistent offering to our customer base. We've integrated key products through the Bankline platform. So, for example, asset finance, foreign exchange, corporate credit cards, to name a few. So, they're more readily accessible and actually reducing friction and really keeping customers within our ecosystem, which is beneficial for all. And all of that's been underpinned by that continued delivery of customer workloads onto cloud that sort of underpins all that capability. So the key to unlocking the transformation has been migrating to a cloud architecture. The complexity that we faced when we started the program was having a, sort of very manual, a very legacy code base, that's been compiled over decades, having manual deployments into production that take quite a long period of time, and also having a very long lead time of delivery of value to customers. So the solution to all of this really was to move to a cloud architecture that would give us that faster delivery, increased resilience across the platform, and also the ability to have capacity on demand. So we adopted a repeatable approach that saw us focus on pilot customer journeys to begin with. These were really designed to increase our learning across the developer community, but also to build confidence as we went. And then we migrated to more critical applications, releasing more complex capability, for example, multi-site resiliency to support those journeys. And then we delivered a internal developer platform, which allowed our developers to deploy independently and safely, which is critical in achieving that agility of release cadence. So overall, we've had much faster deliveries. We've had much greater resilience across the platform. We're aiming to be sort of zero downtime by the time we reach the end of the transformation. And we've been able to experiment safely, so progressive releases, A/B testing, all the while sort of maintaining regulatory confidence in what we're doing. And finally, talking about how we've used AI to sort of accelerate the transformation. So we've done that in 4 key ways. The first, code analysis. So reviewing all of those complex legacy code bases, producing dependency maps across those so our developers can understand the landscape, documentation generation, so providing structured, context-aware documentation that our developer community, can interact with that documentation and really understand the code base that they're transforming. Migration planning, so using AI insights to phase the deliveries, bringing into that business priorities and code complexity so that we've got, a safe way of executing the migration plan. And finally, code refactoring. So conversion of those legacy code bases to modern code bases. Again, producing code that is understandable, maintainable as we go forward is fairly critical. So I think those four things really combine to reduce the complexity that we've had to deal with, shorten the timelines of the delivery, allowing the developers, I think has been mentioned before, to focus on delivering customer value and just effectively, delivering that digital experience that we want to and not spending our time untangling decades-old code bases. So I think, in summary, the transformation has been more than just a technology transformation. It's been how can we deliver the digital experience that our customers need, and also how do we deliver a platform that's ready for the future and meets our needs going forward. So thank you for your time.